had a couple of weeks. Okay, welcome everyone to the Satsang with Shannon and Cate. So we've been guided to, Shannon and I have been guided to do these talks together, just letting him lead the way. So let's just take a few moments, say a minute, just to get into silence. Just if you're watching this on YouTube, just to sit and just quieten your mind. Okay. So we've been guided to, Shannon and I have been guided to, when I say we, Shannon and I, been guided to bring some forgiveness practices into the satsang so that they can have their own section under my talks. So they'll be put under forgiveness practices. So this has been guided. The Holy Spirit knows everything the ego created and will use it for his purposes. So we'll use these Zooms, ways of YouTube's, ways of getting his message through to us in the ways to our mind to wake us up. So we are going to be going through rules for decision today. And Shannon's had some guidance, and I've had guidance on different aspects of this teaching to bring through. So I know that I've done a teaching on this. I've probably got 3 or 4 different videos on this, but when I asked, why should I do it again? He said, because there's going to be some people that just look at the forgiveness practices and to have it as part of it. So if you think I've done it many times before, you've heard it, we're going to go through it again. So I hope he's just guided us to do this, and he's just guiding me, saying I'm his messenger. I'm sure Shannon feels the same way. So take what you like from these talks and these expressions of what he brings through us. And there's no attachment to outcomes when you're just being spoken through. So just know that when we're all meant to get to this particular place of mind where we're just listening to Jesus / the Holy Spirit, it's just one voice. It's the voice for God. And it can take an emphasis being Jesus or the Holy Spirit, or you just feel this voice of truth speaking through you. So we're all meant to get to that. It's not special. This is the highest we can get to while we believe we're still in a body, or while we seem to be still, having our voice come through body. So the body is now got a new purpose. Its purpose is to be fully purposeful for the Holy Spirit rather than the ego. So not only we're bringing through some teachings, but Shannon and I are demonstrating that we're listening and following and speaking his message. So it's a constant, it's got so many beautiful, lovely purposes when you're listening to that stream of Holy Spirit guidance, wisdom, what to say, what to do. So the rules for decision is an amazing teaching. It is really the summary of A Course in Miracles. If you wanted to really focus a period of time, 30 days or 60 days purely on this to get into this habit. So to summarize, the habit of rules for decision is to come to be completely guided in every moment by Jesus and the Holy Spirit, to have that guidance in your mind all day long. So we start to develop the habit, and the reason why he has a quick restorative and a long restorative is because we are developing a habit, and eventually we will be in like a stream of Holy Spirit mind. We won't go out of that. We will just have this beautiful love and wisdom and peace of mind in our mind. So it's literally like you're in the flow or in the stream. And when you step outside that, you need to do some sort of forgiveness practice, which we will be going through. The quick restorative that he gives you. And if that doesn't work, you need to do the long restorative. And you can bring in any other forgiveness practice that you use. But you will start to notice that the quick and the long restorative have aspects of all the lessons in it. There'll come a time where your mind sees that they're all connected. They're all saying the same thing. But the new beginning, the rules for decision, is a very powerful way to practice this. So let me just start. I don't know if I'm going to be reading it, but I'm just feeling to speak about it in a certain way to really bring this understanding through. So we are to ask all day long. We're meant to be getting into the practice, first of all, of putting the Holy Spirit in charge. So we wake up in the morning and we say, Holy Spirit, be you in charge. I make no decisions by myself. So that's the one-edged sword decision, which helps us get to truth. It is a decision to not make a decision by myself. So in that, I come to understand that I am like an open vessel. I don't have my own thoughts. I'm either listening to the ego's thoughts or the Holy Spirit's thoughts. I can't listen to any other thoughts. They're one or the other. So when I say I make no decisions by myself, I'm really saying I'm not going to choose the default ego. And if I do, I'm going to do some sort of restorative. I'm going to restore my mind back into the stream of Holy Spirit thoughts. So if you can imagine sort of like this sort of beautiful stream of, say, just like a fog or a cloud going through, just to get some sort of vision of this, and you're in the stream. You're getting this guidance, this what to do, what to say, where to go. You don't even have to ask in this stream. The thoughts just come through. say this, do this, go here, do this now, make breakfast now, you know, make this for breakfast. Now do this, now clean up, or no, don't clean up now, go and do this. Everything. He knows he knows everything we need to do, all the little things that we need to do while we're here. And he also knows where we need to be and what we need to say. He will tell us when to be quiet and listen. Everything. So in that stream, you're only listening to the Holy Spirit. So you're just listening to this infinite wisdom that just brings through, and it's effortless and easy and happy and peaceful and content. You'll be guided when to, you know, like, as you know, I love doing my painting, going for walks, visiting my family members. He takes charge of it all. Literally, I'm just given, my mind holds nothing except what I think with God. And so God's voice instructs me on what to do and where to go. So all I need to do is to keep surrendered into that. So I do a little bit, I join with God in the morning, and then I surrender every morning. So I do that, put it in place. But even if I forget, that stream's still there. But I purposely do it because it's just something that's a habit now. So that's where we want to be. We want to be in that place of mind where we don't have to do any forgiveness. We don't have to say, I've stepped outside, I need to do some sort of restorative. So if we can understand that the rules for decision are leading us to that, he says in it that if we put this in place first thing in the morning, it should literally get us into the stream where we've made the decision, one decision. I only want to hear what he would have me do and say. So if you really desire the peace of God, this is the peace of God. It is so lovely and so beautiful to be in that stream, to wake up and have no thoughts about anything, except it's just like peace of mind. You're just very, very peaceful. Your mind's quiet, and then there might be, if you've put him in charge, there'll just be a thought that comes in and says, okay, get up now. Very gently. It's not like a demand or anything. It will be, get up now. So you'll just feel a little prompt. So you don't have to figure anything out. And I just sort of want to tell you what it's like because I live in that mind. So I just want you to have an experience, have a demonstration of it. Okay, so that's where we all want to be, and that's where he's asking us as the ones that get there, that have developed that habit and have worked on the forgiveness and desired the peace of God and are practicing forgiveness. We are his messengers of peace. We are a teacher of God, and we help our brothers through what we're doing. So we help others, and we all have others that we help. So Shannon and I playing our part, you're playing your part. You will have, there's billions of the part of the ego that needs to wake up. So we've got a job to do, and we don't have to worry about what we're going to do or how we're going to do it. All the inspired ideas come through. So everything that happens in this world, anything that you find yourself having to make a decision about, you can completely rest and trust that the answer will be given you, you can trust completely, 100%, that the answer, if you sit by and wait and ask for the answer, it will come. So this rules for decision comes along with the development of trust, right? Because the more you trust and wait for this decision to come, the answer, the more you're developing the trust in the answer. So there's going to be times when you're in the stream. You might be in the stream for 3 years and then you pop out of the stream. And all of a sudden you find that you're trying to figure something out for yourself. And it just doesn't feel right. You don't feel peaceful. You feel, you just feel maybe a bit fearful, a bit frustrated. I've had people over the years contact me and say, oh, I was really peaceful for so many years and it's gone. What should I do? So this is the answer. Rules for decision. The short or the long restorative is the answer, but also the technique that he gives us to practice. Think about the happy day you want. So this is meant to get us to think about just being happy, just simply being happy. You might see yourself walking through wherever you go, whether you go to work or you're meeting up with family or friends or your children or anyone, and you just see happy, easy, effortless relationships. That's our task, is to do that. This is a practical application, Jesus says all the way through, that he's giving us these really good practical applications to get us into this beautiful stream of peace, where this peace is present. We have a completely quiet mind. The ego thoughts aren't there. And we're just getting his guidance. I just want to share one thing too. The ego can make this into, well, you might be told to go somewhere that you don't want to go, or do something that you don't want to do. But actually, when you're in that stream, those particular thoughts are never present. So without those thoughts in your mind, you couldn't have an experience of thinking that something's going to be difficult or hard or not what you want. So the ego is basically saying that it's going to be present and going to present those thoughts. So trust that when the mind is quiet, and if we all want the peace of God, which I know we all do, we will do this practical application and do it as he asks. And I'll try to change it or make exceptions. We're going to do this really well at times and really badly at times. And the thing that's going to motivate you to remember rules for decision, just maybe being in this group today, maybe in 2 or 3 years' time, you think, oh, that's right. I remember when Cate Shannon did a talk on rules for decision. I've got to get back there. You start off as a student, as a beginner, and you say, okay, I'm going to go back to that, put it into practice. There's many forgiveness practices throughout the course, but this is the one I've found that really encompasses it all. And it's and it might sound complicated at the start, but the more you practice it, the easier it gets. So the goal is clear. I want the peace of God. And the practical application is doing the 2 things he suggests here. Every morning and throughout the day, I just stop for a minute and I think about the happy day I want. I think about the happy relationships. I think about me being happy. just me being peaceful and quiet and happy. I see myself happy. So let's just do that, because this is a practical application, right? Let's just do that for now. So let's, for a few minutes, I want you to see you going to the familiar places that you go to, going to the shops, talking to neighbours, talking to the people in your household, your friends, your parents. I want you to just spend a few minutes seeing yourself in each of these relationships, and I want you to just feel this carefreeness, just this lightheartedness. Feel yourself being really lighthearted. Feel yourself, you don't have a care in the world. There's nothing to think about or figure out or plan for. Don't go into any specifics. Just think about just your lightheartedness. And then all I want you to do is see the person that you're with just smiling and laughing for no reason. Jesus asks us to remember our brother's loving thoughts. Maybe some of our friends have got a good sense of humour and they sometimes make jokes. Let's focus on that. Let's hear them laugh and be light-hearted and feel ourselves joining in with that. I'd like to now take you to this type of visualization. I want you to see you walking on a really lovely path on a nice summer's day, a warm day, dappled light. You could be walking through the woods or a path near a beach, or even on the sand on a beach. It could be in a meadow. Picture something where you feel maybe you've walked on a path before that you've really found really beautiful. And I want you to feel this complete happiness and peace and quiet as you walk. Letting go of everything. Now, I want you to skip like a child skips. I want you to have a big smile on your face. I want you to skip. I want you to maybe sing a little song like cha la 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 la. I want you to be very childlike. Maybe you're singing some sort of nursery rhyme or just a little tune. I want you to be like 5 years old, skipping. Maybe another little girl or boy has come along on the path, and now you're playing one of those games where you, with your hands, you do this. I don't know what that's called, but just let's do this for a little while with our friend. And we're maybe repeating something. You know, those little songs that go like that. So do the action if you like, and feel yourself. See the other friend, a beaming face, a smile, completely in the light. No worries at all, just fun. And then thank your little friend. They wave goodbye, you wave goodbye. And you decide to skip. Again, there's no one on this path but you. You're completely free. There's nothing to figure out, nothing to worry about. Everything is taken care of. And now you come to a hopscotch. Someone's chalked it on the path. Or maybe if you're on the beach, someone has put it out with little twigs and sticks. And it doesn't matter if you stand or touch the twigs. And so just feel yourself doing the hopscotch on your one leg, go along. Then you go out on both, back onto one at the end, and then turn around and then come back. Try not to fall over or go outside the lines. Feel your heart full of lightness, full of fun and playfulness. You're a little child. And then when you get back to the end, have another go. See yourself, feel every part of the hopscotch. And when you get back to the end of it, your little friend appears again, whether that be a little boy or a little girl, and they're going to have a go. Stand there and watch them have their go. Feel this simple joy, this lightness. When your friend's finished doing the hopscotch, tell them, you did such a great job. I loved watching you do that. And give them a hug. And then start skipping along again. You know, I'm going to let you now do whatever you want to do on that path. The Holy Spirit will take you. He might get you to be like running backwards or putting your hands up in the air or twirling around. You take it for a few minutes. Now, I want you to meet your dad as a 5-year-old boy. And actually, let's go back to the hopscotch. And I want you to watch him do the hopscotch as his 5-year-old self when he was childlike and happy for just a few moments. Watch him do it, see his face laughing and smiling, and lightness. He is not what you make out him to be. He is childlike. He is innocent. He is happy. We let go of everything we think about him and just see his true self. And when he finishes his hopscotch, let's look into his eyes. And let's say to him, I see your call for love and help. I see your call for someone to demonstrate to you that you are not an ego. I'll do that for you. No matter what you say or what your body does, I'm going to see you as this little child, a little child of God, that, like me, wants to be free and is searching for someone to demonstrate the outcome of the truth. I'll do that for you, Dad. I'll give you this beautiful gift. I'll be that light for you. I am going to overlook everything about you that is the ego. I'm going to look past it, not let my thoughts make a story of it, not judge you. I promise you, Dad, no matter how old you are, I am going to only see this innocent boy here, this innocent child of God, this lovely smile, and know that that is within you. Now, we bid farewell to our dad as a 5-year-old boy. He leaves. And now, our mother as a 5-year-old girl arrives. We give her a hug. She's our friend. She's not our mother. She's our friend. She is our friend. We let go of all ideas of what a mother should and shouldn't do. We meet her in the freedom of childlike innocence, our true self, meeting our true self. And we ask our friend to have a go at the hopscotch. We see her joyful face. We see that childlike innocence, delighted to have some fun with us. So watch her have a go, or hear the squeals of delight as she enjoys this simple game. Maybe she's put her foot on a marking, says, oops, I have to start again. And we laugh. We love to watch her enjoy this simple childlike game. She's full of light and laughter. Neither one of us has anything in our minds except pure joy of joining in joy and happiness and enjoying time together. We've let go, we both of us have let go of any stories about each other and have just simply come into enjoying a game. So you have another go at the hopscotch. She's going to watch you. She's going to be clapping, saying, good job, you're doing well. You finish up, you get back to the start. And you just give her a hug. Say, thanks for having some fun with me. There's nothing more to say. She's free, and so are you. And so I want you to now start to come back from the visualization into the room. And what Jesus is telling me is this is one way you can visualize a happy day, happy relationship. There's millions of ways to do this. He guided that whole thing. I had no idea that I was going to do that. So that wasn't planned, but he did say, just start. He'll give me. So that's an example of thinking about the happy day. You know, when he says, think about what you want to happen to you. What you want to happen to you is the easy, effortless lightheartedness, spontaneous feelings of joy, where your mind is free of all stories, worries, and planning. And what I found over the years from practicing rules of decision is that I became very, very light-hearted. And when I was around my mum and my dad, and they would be upset about something, somehow I would say some sort of joke and it would lighten them up, and I would see them smile. And it shifted their mind from that concern and worry into some holy instant of freedom. And I didn't try to do it. It came from doing the thinking about a happy day. My response came spontaneously. I didn't go there saying, oh, I'm going to tell some jokes or I'm going to be witty. It came through me very in the moment. The thought came in of how to see this funnily, how to see it differently, something funny. So the more you do this, the more you will get into the stream of lightheartedness. Jesus asks us to become like little children. The meek will inherit the earth. The lightheartedness not will inherit the earth. They'll be above the battleground. You're above the battleground. You're not in story. You're not in trying to fix and plan and lecture and help. And take responsibility for fixing all the issues that our parents, our children, our family members have, or we have. So one of the things that's very, very helpful in doing these rules of decision is to really become mindful of asking. So if you, it works in with this spontaneous feeling of lightheartedness, and then this in the stream. So let me get this straight. In the stream, there's no asking because it's already given. So I'm going to talk about sitting by and asking, because that's what he brought in the last 3 days. He kept bringing in that quote, and he was telling me to do these rules for decision today and to have that as the emphasis. So I will talk about that in more in depth in a moment. I'd like to invite Shannon to talk or read or add to this and share what she has coming through. So thank you, Shannon.
Thank you, Cate. That was so fun. I didn't want to come back from the little path. Yeah. I'm not really feeling to share a lot right now because I think that it's just really flowing so beautifully through you. When I started practicing rules for decision, it really is the most practical thing he gives us to do in the course, aside from the lessons. And it made my day so much easier because I didn't have to do anything. I didn't have to make any decisions. The one thing I do want to say is that sometimes what you get to do next isn't necessarily what you think it should be. And it's really important in those moments too, to trust, because the more we trust his voice, we'll hear it more strongly. So one time I was, thinking I had to leave for work, and I was told to read with him. And so in that moment, it was one of those things where I could have decided to just walk out the door because I would have been late for a project. But I trusted and read, and the whole thing really worked out beautifully because we don't have the whole picture. So we don't really know what else is going to be happening throughout the day. And so if we can remember that and just continue to trust that whatever he's telling us is exactly what needs to be done, I think that would, just remember that as you're practicing rules for decision if you're new to it, because I was very surprised actually one time. Um, and yeah, so I think that's all I'm feeling to share right now, Pete.
Yeah. So to thank you, Shannon, for that. And one of the things that you can guarantee about Shannon and I, if you want to think about us throughout the day, is we are doing this. We are either in the stream, or if we're out of the stream, we're doing the restorative to get back in the stream. We're not doing anything else. We're not trying to figure things out for ourselves. We're not trying to plan. And we're here to say that it's really lovely just to follow. It is really easy, and it makes your life, your day-to-day life, effortless. I can guarantee that. So it is worthwhile doing this practice until you get into that stream, and you will still do most of the things you're doing now and see most of the people. A few things might change, but for you, for your life, your daily life, it's going to be so much easier. So I'm guided to talk about the let's just finish off on the practical application of today. I will make no decisions by myself. Okay. So we think about the happy day. We say, I'm not going to make any decisions by myself. And we get into that stream. So you'll know if you're outside the stream, if you are feeling any irritability, you're not peaceful, you're trying to figure things out for yourself. So if you get into that, you need a quick restorative. So today I will make no decisions by myself. This means that you are choosing not to be the judge of what to do. So in the mornings, you can have your own prayer, whatever suits you. Everybody's different, but it's really about, I surrender. I give this day to you. I give you all the decisions. So what we're doing in that is we're making like an opening for the Holy Spirit's thoughts to come in, the prompts. So we want to get to the stage where we're just listening to the Holy Spirit. We're just hearing what to do and what to say. And it's going to be the similar guidance. If you're listening to the ego's got its own plan for you, and it doesn't work, and your mind, you will not be peaceful in the ego. So there's two very different experiences, and we've only got a choice of two thought systems to listen to. So as course students, our goal is peace, and peace is listening to the Holy Spirit. So even when you come to God, where it says God takes the final step, you're still hearing guidance. You'll be guided. You've just gone that extra bit further where you're joined with God, and you're hearing the song and you're living in that song, but you're still getting guidance, right? Jesus says he will be Christ control. So Holy Spirit controlled. It's not really control. It's like just living in a beautiful place. So what he's telling me is that visualization where you did the skipping and the hopscotch, it's going to feel like that. Your day is going to feel like you're playful with everyone. But this is very practical. So if someone seemingly thinks that they're sick and they're upset and they're talking to you, you're going to respond appropriately. Okay. You're not going to, you'll be guided what to say. But I just want to make that clear, that the Spirit will bring through what what you need to say. You don't have to worry. So every situation that you find yourself in to where you feel you have to make a response. So someone calls you up and says, will you do this? Or, whatever situation, and you feel I need to make a decision or I need to respond to them. What you need to do is sit by and ask for the answer to be given you. You need to pause. You can say, I need some time. It's okay to say to someone, I need some time. But you need to invite the Holy Spirit in, sit quietly and say, I'm not going to do anything until I have your answer. So I have a friend, he's 87 and he drops by past my house at times. I think he was here in one of the meetings, Dennis, he dropped by once, right? He's been doing the course and he's really lovely the way he just says, he asks all day long. Now, I don't have to do that asking anymore because I'm in the stream. So it's like, I just get it. But I felt guided to share about what he does. So this is what I used to do as well. But he says to me that even he's now spending some time in like an aged care home because he's got an injury. And he says that even when they present 2 plates of what to have for dinner, he looks and he says, decide for me. And he picks up one. So Jesus says in the first page of this that our decisions are continuous and that that there's these sets, he says, these sets of decisions. But you don't have to get caught up in all the little tiny things. But I would suggest as a practice to start is when you get up in the morning, you say, you decide when I get out of bed. You decide what I do next. You decide what I wear. Now, I know Ken Wapnick says some things about you don't have to ask every little thing, but if you've got a life, your daily life where not much is happening and you're really like at home a lot, you can ask these little things and get into the habit of asking and listening. Now, these, what you wear, whether you put on a grey sweater or a red sweater, is not going to change your life, but it gets you into the habit of listening. So put the little things in charge, those little things where you're trusting and you're listening. So you're trying to develop the inner listening, and this is how you can develop it. And this is what I did. I started to just more and more things throughout the day. Where would you go? I was at work, where would you have me go during my lunch hour? Should I stay in and eat at my desk? Should I go for a walk? If I went for a walk, where would I go? What would I listen to? And sometimes I'd go for a walk, I'd see this little park bench under this lovely tree, we sit here and meditate. So I would see it. So we're starting to get into the stream of listening and following. So practice that really in your daily life, the little things about what you eat, what you wear, where you sit. When I go shopping, who do I ring this person now? Wait, you'll feel a yes or a no. Now, sometimes the answer is wait, or you just feel. Now, if you don't feel a really strong yes, don't push through and do it. Wait. You're going to get into the habit of very moment by moment guidance of all the little things. And there'll be reasons, you'll see reasons later on of why you had to do what you did, because he's in charge. So I just want to sort of give a very practical application of how this guidance works. So I'm talking about guidance of decisions and responses. So this is what we're going to do, because really our whole life is about making decisions. You know, your decision to come on the group today, you might have had a thought, oh, I could, you know, go to bed early, or, you know, watch some TV or something. Or so you can ask, because sometimes it might be that you're not meant to come on the group. You're meant to do something else. So try to get into the habit of asking, even if you've got a habit of doing something and you think, actually, I really like coming on Cate Shannon's group, but always remember to ask. Just sit by and ask, should I do this? Where should I go now? Okay, I'm here with this person. What should I say? But just remember, when we say, what should I say? You might have this really strong feeling that you're just meant to sit there and listen. So just because in one of the lessons he says, you know, where would you have me go? What would you have me say? A lot of my training was listening. I mean, I had to learn to listen. So he would say, I was going to Christmas parties and I'd say, what would you have me do? He said, I want you to listen. I want you to ask questions and listen. I don't want you to talk about yourself at all. So these are the ways he trained me. So this is all training for us to be teachers of God, messengers of his peace, bringing the miracle, sharing that everyone can do this. Everyone can get into the stream. So when we haven't, when we're out of the stream, I'm just going to read this little section here. Today I will make no decisions by myself. This means that you are choosing not to be the judge of what to do, but it also means you will not judge the situations where you will be called upon to make a response. For if you judge them, you have set the rules for how you should react to them. And then another answer cannot but produce confusion and uncertainty and fear. So what happens is that ego comes in and it says, it brings a thought that says, this is how I want this situation to turn out. It has an outcome. It has its own goal, right? Now, you may not be aware of all this, but if you sit back and really think about how you were in that situation and all the thoughts in your mind, you'll see how the ego thoughts brought this up. But one thing you can notice, so what I want you to do now is just guiding me to go here to bring this up. I want you to sit quietly and close your eyes. And I want you to bring up any situation recently that has caused you any fear, confusion, or uncertainty, right? It could be something that happened today or yesterday. And I want you to think about how you're trying to get an outcome. Just see the outcome that you think. But when you go to that outcome, I want you to see how you feel fearful about that outcome. Because he goes through this in one of the lessons where he says, every time you go to an outcome that the ego wants you to have, when you're deciding by yourself with the ego, I want you to notice how that outcome that you think should happen, you're not sure that it should happen. You've got doubt that that's the best outcome. So I want you to explore this situation that you find yourself in that's coming into your mind. And I want you to notice the feelings that you have when you think about it. They will not be peaceful. You will feel like you have to do something. You'll feel like I have to do something or say something to get something to work out. And I want you to notice how different those feelings are that come with that, trying to figure stuff out for yourself, where you've judged something. And I want you to compare it to the carefreeness of the first meditation, how different they are. So that situation that you're currently thinking about, that's over the last day or week, you've got an idea about how something should be, and you're trying to figure out the answer. You're sitting there and you're trying to come up with solutions. I want you to now go through this process of saying, I have no question. I let go. I forgot what to decide. So see the situation in your mind, how you're looking at it. See all the people that are involved. See yourself. See it all. And just say, I let it all go. I give up trying to figure this out. I let go of trying to figure out the answer to this. I just don't know what to do. I have no question, which means I have no questions about what do I have to do to get this sorted out. That's what I'm letting go. When he says I have no question, it means all the questions about how can I get this thing fixed, and trying to figure it out for yourself. So I'm giving up. Feel yourself just resigning and saying, I don't know. I don't know what the best outcome is. I don't know if this person's meant to do this or whether I'm meant to do that. I don't know what I'm meant to do or what anyone else is meant to do. Feel yourself giving up, just letting go, just saying, I don't know. Now, if you've really, really released it, really feel that I've let that thing go, I want you to now say to yourself, I am going to sit by and ask to have the answer given me. So we are going to now sit by for 10 minutes and ask for the answer for what you think, what that issue is that came up for you that you've let go of. We're going to ask now, seriously, bring the answer to me. I am here, Lord. I am listening. I have let go of trying to figure anything out, trying to decide for myself. I am going to wait for something that I don't have the answer yet, but I'm going to sit by and wait for it. So let's put 10 minutes away now to sit by. So clear your mind, do your own prayer, say to the Holy Spirit, here I am. I'm just going to sit with an open mind for 10 minutes. Bring me an answer. I don't know what that answer is going to be because it hasn't arrived yet. And wait, just wait. We're going to sit by and wait and ask to have the answer given me. Here we go. Okay. If you'd like to come back from that. Now, Shannon just messaged me and said she had to step away for a few minutes. I don't think she's back. Are you back yet, Shannon? I don't think so. So once Shannon comes back, I'd like her to pause the recording because I'd like to ask if anyone would like to share or any answers they got. Now, I'm also asked right now is, would you be willing to be on the recording if you would like to be on the YouTube recording giving any answers? You don't have to, is Shannon. So Shannon, I've just asked the group if anyone got any answers, if they would like to share it onto the recording, because it does help others that are listening back. This recording could go for 1,000 years and be so helpful for others for what's been brought forward through today. So it might be helpful for future students watching it to hear that there was some answers, but you don't have to. If you don't feel to, we can pause the recording after any. So basically now I'd like anyone that would like to be on the recording, put their hand up. And then after they've shared, I will pause the recording if you'd like to be share but not be recorded. So there'll be two options available. Okay, so Jacqueline, would you like to share any answers? Would you like to describe the issue and then the answer so we get the contrast? Thank you.
Well, it's illegal. Something a legal document that I'm on that 3 years ago I was promised would be changed, and it's been extended all this time. It hasn't happened. And so I thought I turned it over to Holy Spirit, at some point, but it keeps coming up. So in this instance, it was interesting because it was very simple. It was whether the outcome is the way that I think it should be, or it's not the way it should be, or not the way I think it should be. I just saw that Holy Spirit will be with me throughout all of it. And if the outcome is the opposite of what I would like it to be, the Holy Spirit will still be with me, guiding me. So I'm on a trust with someone. I'm a trustee for someone. And I felt like I wanted to, I've been for 10 years, I felt like I wanted to be off that trust. And I just now know if I continue to be the trustee, can you hear me? Am I loud enough? Holy Spirit will be there with me, will continue to be with me and guide me no matter what the outcome. So it was listening to the Holy Spirit was the answer, and trusting that I'll be guided all the way through no matter what the outcome is.
Thank you. And that is an answer. I had a situation just this last weekend where there's some issues about buying my mum a house. And there was lots of things going on and lots of people involved. And then I asked, so I'd sort of slightly stepped outside the stream because I could feel this uncomfortable feeling coming in, and I thought, I'm trying to figure it out for myself. So I quickly sat by and asked, and it came on to have a Zoom meeting with all the people that are involved in the decision making of buying this house. And it was amazing. It all got resolved. So I just wanted to share that sometimes I still occasionally step outside the stream but I get back into it and then I can vouch that the answer was really helpful. So, and also same thing, that if I just continue to listen and trust, it's very smooth. It's all going to go really well. So thanks, Jacqueline, for that lovely answer. Sorry, unmuted myself too soon. Violaine, would you like to share? Thank you.
Yes, thank you. So the situation's about my work. I was working yesterday and I was involved in caring for somebody who was very ill, and I had to make decisions, and my mind has been preoccupied with the outcome for this person and what I should be doing on Monday. And as we were doing the meditation, I was trying to let go and release and just let it be as it is, not wanting to interfere. And then when we did the 10 minutes, so I was trying to listen, and my lesson today is I give my life to God to guide today. So it was the perfect lesson for me. And also other things like, here I am, Lord, and speak, Lord, thy servant heareth, and all sorts of things, and trying to pause also, and just pausing and listening. And I couldn't hear a clear answer. What I seemed to have heard was, be patient. Be patient. And then I heard a little later, like, you can hear us. And it kind of touched me, and that's all. I feel like there is still some wanting to figure out things. It's still bubbling inside of me, but it's okay. It's what it is right now, and that's my journey with forgiving myself and forgiveness. Thank you for the opportunity.
So thank you, Violaine. You probably can feel when someone gives their answer, you can probably feel that's everyone's answer, right? You can feel that land on you. You know, we are here for you. We will provide, we will give you that guidance. So any answer that comes in is for everyone. When you hear someone gets an answer, that's why it's so lovely to share, because those words will come into your mind and be used for you. Thank you, Violaine. Daniela, would you like to share?
Yeah, hi. Yeah, this is an interesting one because well, anyway, I'll just start with what just happened now. Was so we have we had floods this year, and then we have ongoing sort of weather forecasts saying, you know, for all sorts of reasons, that there's going to be more floods to come, which is triggering for me. And so that's the one that I sat with. And I sat with, I actually brought this, I had a long share with actually Shannon a couple of days ago, and I sat with this one as well. And an answer came directly after that. It was a few days ago, where, well, it didn't come to me. I was out and about after that call, and I saw 6 working men sitting by the side of the street, and I was pulled over to talk to them and ask them the question, what should I do? Now, this was a couple of days ago, and they told me, do nothing. You know, this is more fledged out, but basically their answer was, do nothing, just do nothing, just wait and see what happens. And it was a really beautiful interchange. There were 6 working men, and you know, I would never normally go over and just off the cuff talk to them, but there I was with them for 20, 30 minutes. Each of them had a different flavor and each of them had something to say, but the head honcho, all of them really just said, just do nothing, just wait and see. Now I brought it up again today, just now in this meditation, and it's very similar. But what was interesting was I got other little things came in that I need to do, which was one, get the roof fixed. There's a small leak in the roof. Get the roof fixed, like be onto that soon. And then another answer came in completely left field about a little gathering I'm having this week about go and change this particular thing for something else. So they were quite left field, but they came in clear. So anyway, I just thought I would share that. Thank you.
Thank you, Daniela. So one of the things I would like to share, which Daniela has touched on, is sometimes when you have an interaction or even doing this meditation, the answer may not come in. But if you've really sincerely asked in this meditation, if you've, with all your heart, like a calling of your heart, I want an answer. Please, I want an answer. I'm ready to let go of how I'm looking at the situation and what I think needs doing. Then we just open up to an answer. Now, it may not have come in that 10 minutes, but it'll come in. And that's my original, when I really started to do this asking, it would come in at unusual times when you wouldn't, it might be you're out grocery shopping, or just like Daniela walking along the street and you just go and talk to these people, ask this question, you follow that and the answer comes from them, right? And then there's this trust. Okay, these answers come through those workers, right? And then trusting and sitting, okay, I need to fix the hole in the roof. Because when you're fearful and you're trying to figure everything out, the answer can't come in. So we need to sit by and ask. We need to take that quiet time. It may not come in that quiet time. A lot of the time, 90% of the time, the answer came in afterwards. So if you didn't get an answer in that 10 minutes, that's okay. The answer will come in. Just keep trusting. Just keep releasing. Anytime some thoughts come up about, oh, I have to figure this out. What's this mean? No, there might be a flood. What do I got to do? And the fear arises. Just let go, let go. And you start to notice that as you let go and you trust, you come into the present happiness now. Because say there's some rain coming in 6 months' time, and there's a prediction of a lot of rain to come in 6 months. You have got every day for the next 6 months to choose between worry and fear, or between present trust and happiness. So that period of time, that rain is going to come, however it comes. And even if there is some sort of flood, you'll be given what to do and where to go when you're trusting and listening, because you're in the stream. And it might be, we can't know our best interest. It might be that it is in our best interest, whatever happens, because you might need to move somewhere else, because someone living next door to the new place you go to has to hear your message. It's got nothing to do with being in the right house and having the beautiful home. It's got to do with where he would have you be and what he wants you to say. So we can't know any plan. If we're judging anything that he's guiding us to do, we're judging amiss. So this is really coming into total trust and following, listening and following, like he says at the start of the course, I want you to listen, I want you to follow, and I want you to do. And it could be anything. He knows. So it really shifts us all into this. It's not just for a few. And what we have to do is validate to ourselves that when we're listening and following, we have to validate that it is bringing more peace. We are peaceful. It does take a practice to sit by and ask for his answer. That was I hadn't even read this section for quite a long time. But about 3 nights ago, he does this a lot, he shows me a phrase from the Course and he says, I want you to hammer this home. Sit by and ask to have the answer given you. Right? So take this from this meeting today. Take this. Sit by. Anytime you feel yourself getting distressed, sit by and ask to have the answer given you. Get quiet and ask. But also remember, the answer may not come in that period, but it will come and you'll see it. You'll get some little thing. Oh, yes, that's right. Like Daniela, fix the roof. And then other things come in because she's opened up to the stream of guidance, of helpfulness. Those things that come into our mind when we've opened up and asked, they're really helpful. They bring a lot of peace. And they're just like, that's what Shannon and I are doing now, opening up to bringing something through today to be helpful. Now, I didn't know whether I was going to be reading through this or what I was going to be doing. It was just that message, sit by and ask to have the answer given you. But also, that's when you're outside the stream. When you're in the stream, you're doing the practice. I make no decisions by myself. Holy Spirit, I give this day to you. So you get into the practice, visualizing the happy day and letting go of deciding anything for yourself. Holy Spirit, be you in charge. Jesus, you just be in my mind today and lead me. Any type of prayer that you use, it doesn't matter what your words are. So Shannon, would you like to share a little bit about that guidance you had about just using the words Holy Spirit? That was really lovely.
Oh yeah, sure, Kate. Thank you. I was practicing rules for decision and asking before I did anything. So I wasn't in a place of making decisions on my own at this point. However, there were times where things would come in and I would, in front of me, and they would be surprising or shocking or whatever. And I wasn't really sure how to react. And I could feel myself kind of, trying to figure it out. And so all I would say, and it's such a quick thing, but it just helped me to step back into the stream. I would just say, Holy Spirit. And that was all I had to say was Holy Spirit. And through practicing rules for decision, just saying that pulled me back just that little bit. And I was able to then know exactly how to respond. And the fear or whatever was trying to distract me just fell away as soon as I remembered. I think it's the remembering that was hard for me in the beginning, was remembering in the moment to stop even for one instant and say Holy Spirit, or say, whatever. You'll find your words. But for me, it was just saying Holy Spirit. And then I knew, I was just back into that flow of guidance. So, yeah.
So Shannon, I'm not getting anything to finish off with now. Have you had any guidance about anything to finish the group today? Are you feeling to do a little meditation or something?
I feel it's complete, really. It was a lovely sharing at the end. I appreciate everyone who raised their hand and shared. That was beautiful. I feel complete.
So we will finish the recording now. And then after the recording is finished, I will ask anyone if they would like to share off camera. So, and if there is no one, we will just say a lovely goodbye to each other. So thank you. If anyone is listening back to this, thank you. It's been lovely to present this teaching in the way he's bringing it through. He's really guided us that to bring through these teachings in a practical way. So getting you to practice them as we do them. We're not just talking about them. We're getting you to do the practical application of it. And this is what he wants. So this is him guiding us on what to do. So thank you. We'll finish this recording and blessings. Bye.